Hi, my name is Greg Colley, and I wanted to welcome you to our second session on our new search site. And this will be a detailed search session just to talk about all the different ways that you can do searches in this site. If you remember, we started on the gallery view in the first session, and we did registration and kind of showed you the different views, the gallery view, the photo view, and the map view. And you can see again at the top, the system is displaying all of the entire listings on the MLS that are either under contract and haven't closed, or are active and do not have a contract on them. So this is reflecting virtually everything in the market right now: foreclosures, short sales, price reductions, and properties under contract. So really accurate and extremely powerful. So if you look at the search bar in more detail across the top, you'll notice that we have the ability to search by neighborhoods, by MLS numbers, by just a variety of different things, including even keyword searches or feature searches. Or we can just simply add a quick sort on a particular city that we're looking for, and you can see here that we've pulled up 1,085 properties for sale in Fort Collins. And just to give you some indicator of how powerful this is, if we uncheck the under contracts, it is showing us that there are only 770 properties available for sale that don't already have a contract on them. So that is very significant in terms of how much of the inventory is out there under contract in a very short time. And we are in a seller's market, and definitely there is a shortage of inventory. I think we've got about 3 months of inventory now. So if I go back to type, I can just turn contracts back on, and now we're including everything. And as I said in the first session, knowing what is under contract is equally as important, so that if you find a property that is really your ideal property and it's under contract, we can track that property, and if it does fail or the contract doesn't make it to closing, it'll bounce right back to us. So really nice to have that capability. So as I just go across the top, I can continually narrow down my search. I could search by price range, so we want something in the 250 to say 375 range. I want something with a minimum of 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and I can just continually narrow down this search process by square footage, by acreage, by years built, by days on the site, any price reductions. I can just completely open up all of the fields that we would have available for searching, and it just gives you an incredible variety of things. But most of your activity will be done in this primary window here, where the searches are summarized in some way. So if I go back to our results, we've narrowed it down, and again, you'll notice that it's kept the filters up here. So we've got 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, up to 375, over 250, and 2 more filters summarized, including under contracts and in Fort Collins. So we've got a nice narrow window now of about 190 properties that are available for sale. And we could also real quickly look at this and try to figure out how many of the 190 that we like, how many are under contract or not. And so you can see that 85 of those properties are under contract in our search. So of the 190, almost half of the properties available for sale are currently under contract. So that's the state of our inventory right now. Again, why it's important for you to have an accurate way to look at things. And then I can also sort by highest to lowest, or lowest to highest, or most popular. And you'll notice the short sales and the foreclosures come to the top a lot of times. It's also interesting to note that a lot of the under contracts come to the top because those were popular properties that clearly had a lot of showing demand and got under contract fairly early, would be my guess. Most bedrooms, acreage, years built, newest to oldest, days on site. That's a nice one. So if I wanted to look at fresh listings, here's a sort of those 190 properties where I've got all the new listings immediately out there. And this is another area that's important for tracking, because as you're trying to zero in on a property to write an offer on, you want a daily update, if not an hourly update, of new listings that hit the market. And this system will allow us to do that, as you'll see as we go forward. Again, I can drill into these. I can do different views, so I could go into my singular property views. I could look at what I've got now on the map and see how that's summarized. As I drill in, the map will go from a summary view to a complete view. And you can kind of see here that we've got quite a few properties here that, of the 190, they're kind of in the central area of Fort Collins. Another nice thing about the map view is that we can switch back to satellite view, and we can drill right down from Google Earth and take a look at the neighborhoods, take a look at the area. We can also use the polygon tool, which is a shape tool, and actually draw an area that we want to track properties and listings on, which will give us a tremendous amount of granularity. There are many clients that have 4 or 5 and sometimes 10 and 20 different polygon searches or e-alerts going on, because they've got certain neighborhoods that are important to them in the area. So I've come back to our summary page, or search page, where we had narrowed down our Fort Collins search to 190 properties. And I did a sort on this by newest listings first. So I wanted to have positioned in the top the freshest listings, and you can see here we've got a couple of new ones. We've got a new foreclosure that was just posted. We've got some under contract properties already from new listings, and that, I'll bet you, is just an indication of a property that was really pristine. The fact that they've gone under contract really quickly means they were priced right and they were in pretty good condition. So I really love being able to organize and sort by some of these variables, but particularly new listing. And I'll drill in now. We'll take a look at a particular listing. You'll notice at the top in the details page, it summarizes the price, the MLS number, and you can see that this has been on the MLS only 1 day, and it's currently active with no contracts, and it was refreshed and posted 67 minutes ago. So at the top, what I like about this page is it greets you with sort of a panoramic photo view where you can real quickly scroll through on the property pictures and take a look at what you like about this particular property. Also, you'll notice it's an overlay page, so I can real quickly close out and be back at the main view, or I can drill back in and I can page between all the 190 listings by just simply going back and forth at the detailed level of these views. So it just gives us a lot of capability in terms of searching and organizing how we want to look. And I'll kind of take you through some of these areas. You've got your quick map where you can look at a Google map or a Google Earth satellite view. You've got local pictures that the system will pick up that are posted on the web related to Fort Collins in this area. So you can scroll through any common panorama pictures. And across the top further, you can see that we could favorite this property. Just like we could at the top view, if you remember, I could go click on the top here, and I could also make that a favorite. I can do that as well up here. I can also click the share button and email this to friends or family members. I could click the contact button and contact one of the Colley team agents, and if I needed more details about the property or public records or any particular question that I might have, real easy, just one click and shoots them a note. And then there are a number of other things that we're going to get into as we go farther down the page as well. And then below that, we have a mortgage calculator, and you can open up this mortgage calculator and do what-if scenarios on your down payment, your interest rate, your amortization of your mortgage, and just get a better idea on what your monthly payment would be on this particular property. And if I really wanted to drill in, I could send this to our loan officers and our mortgage lender team directly from the page. So if I click on this link, I can ask for an exacting quote, and they will actually do a settlement statement, your closing cost, your monthly payment, and all that stuff for you, so you can really get a solid idea on whether or not you can afford this property and what your planned budget would be for your mortgage. As I go farther down, I get a summary of the beds and the baths, the square footage, the cost per square foot, the build, the style of the home or property, and then below that I have a summary of the subdivision or neighborhood, the county that it's in, the MLS area that it's in, which could be good in communicating to your agent or your broker, elementary school, the high school, the middle school, and the school district. Now what's significant is every one of these is a search. So if I wanted to search on everything in the Poudre School District or everything related to Fossil Ridge High School, because my son plays football at that high school, I could easily keep my search within the boundaries of that particular high school area for those properties that would go to that high school. I also have a link to greatschools.com, so I can look at rankings and feedback on all the school systems in that area, which is just really nice. And then down below that, I could again save this as favorites here. I could print a flyer on it. I could get directions like the map, or I could email the listing to friends. Again, I could communicate with the agent broker on the Colley team, and I could ask for a showing on any particular date or time. And then at the very bottom, it has a columnar description of all the exterior features, all the interior features, and then all the general property features about the house and the property. So it's just a really nice summarization. And then based on our search, it's also gone out and brought in other properties in that price range, because I've narrowed down this house. It's saying here's another new listing that is similarly configured in that same price range, and again then the map summary and some of the other information down below. So just a really nice look at the details here on a particular property. Okay, that wraps up our second session on detailed property information. We're going to have a third session on e-alerts and polygon map searching coming up shortly. We thank you again for visiting the Colley Team website and using our search tools, and we hope your next real estate experience is the best it can be.